Welcome to Impact Tech Studio, where we bring you inspiring stories from changemakers who are redefining sustainability and innovation. Today, we are in conversation with Priyanshu, the founder of Clean Water, a company on a mission to rejuvenate India's water bodies through nature-based technologies and scalable product solutions. This episode dives deep into how clean water is not just improving water quality, but also empowering local communities, NGOs, and state partners to make every water body thrive again.
Hi Arjun, how are you?
Hello Priyanshu, nice to meet you. Pleasure to have you here. And my team really loved your work. And when I looked at what your work was, I got really inspired. And I just said to them that they need to be called and there is a way to get them onto the platform. So this is what our endeavor is. So I'll give you an introduction of who we are. So we are ImpactX Studio under the umbrella of ImpactX Media, where we write articles and we publish articles for startups who are actually solving for meaningful problems, right? So which lead to a solution which can change the way we look at the UN SDGs in a new way, right? So I am seeing that a lot of energy is there in India. So I wanted to call you and keep you on the loop. This conversation that we are currently having, it will be a very normal conversation between friends. We will not be putting any pressure on you. What kind of questionnaire from one question to the other? It will be a story and two friends talking to each other, right?
Okay.
And in the end, you will realize that most of the things that you're expecting out of this interview will be covered. Welcome, Priyanshu. So give us an introduction of what clean water is.
Great. So Clean Water is the brand name under which our organization operates. We're registered as Sustainable Water Technologies Pvt. Limited.
Awesome.
And in one line, what we do is we rejuvenate water bodies. How do we do that? Is we fix the water quality issues, and then most of the problems at these water bodies get solved. And what exactly we do is we offer nature-based products like floating wetlands, floating aerators, beneficial microbial cultures, so that we can get rid of all the pollutants, improve the water quality, restore the ecology, biodiversity, beautify the surroundings as well, towards the bigger goal of rejuvenating the water bodies. So that's what we do essentially. Yeah.
So what have you achieved till now? Please give us an understanding.
Definitely. So still now we've actually worked on about 26 water bodies across the country in 9 states. We're beginning our 10th state this month end. So, and like till date, we've treated more than 2 billion liters of water. We were actually building sewage treatment plants before this, and we were giving services for the same. And after delivering about 30 such treatment plants, we realized that not even 3 of our clients are actually running those treatment plants. All they wanted was a no objection certificate from the Pollution Control Board. They didn't want a sewage treatment plant in the first place. And also services in India are less scalable as compared to products. Products are far more scalable. So we thought to ourselves that all the water bodies in India need rejuvenation, and maybe in the coming 5, 10, 15 years. Why not make products that will be installed on every water body in the future? And let local entrepreneurs, local contractors, local NGOs take care of the basic things, right? Any NGO, any group of volunteers can come in, do the cleaning work at a lake. They can get JCB and dumpers and desilt the lake, deepen it, get a boundary wall made around the pond, plant some trees, have a walkway all around it, install benches, lights. All of these basic things anybody can get done by themselves. But you also the most primary thing at a water body is the water quality, right? So no matter what beautification you do around the pond, if the water is not clean, if it has color, if it has smell, if the fish can't survive, there's water hyacinth on top, nobody calls the water body rejuvenated, right? So that's where we come in, using our products to as a final piece in that puzzle to solve for water quality, while our local NGO partners, contractors take care of the other services at the water bodies. Yep.
Right. So how do you get sponsored for such activities? So how does the money come to you?
So primarily our business is driven through CSR, the Corporate Social Responsibility channel, where we partner with NGOs and not-for-profits. They receive the CSR funds from these corporates. They shoulder some of the responsibility while we come in with our products and solve for water quality.
Right.
We don't pick up tenders ourselves, although most of the water bodies are owned by the government. So
Right.
we have a distributor network that takes our product to the government, so that we really don't have to pick up tenders ourselves and get into the funny business with the government.
Right.
So that's how we're kind of structuring it. Let's say similar to a pump manufacturer like Kirloskar. Right?
Right.
Kirloskar makes pumps but doesn't fill tenders, right? It's their distributors that take the product to the government.
Right.
We're adopting a similar business model because there are millions of water bodies in India. So, just FYI, the first water body census in India was conducted about 2.5 years back,
Right.
and we have identified 24 lakh stagnant water bodies in India. Just the lakes, ponds, tanks, and reservoirs are 24 lakh
Opportunity.
across India.
What an opportunity.
Yeah, that's the flowing ones are different. The river streams, drains are different. So
Yeah.
the market size is huge. We know how polluted they are.
Yeah.
So that's the reason we thought let's stick to products, because physically we can't go to every water body, become consultants, draft DPRs, draft tenders, or become contractors and pick those things, right? But let's become product manufacturers. So irrespective whoever the consultant or the contractor is, it should be our products that get supplied towards rejuvenating these water bodies.
So one question that comes in is that how do you find these water bodies? Who is doing the finding of the water body in that case?
So there are three sources for that. Either we find the water body, or the NGO does, or the corporate has already identified the water body. So, for example, a lot of corporates are interested in rejuvenating the water bodies that are near to their offices or their manufacturing facilities, because
Right.
they kind of have a
Mm.
vested interest in that, right? So either they have already identified a water body, or the NGO has kind of identified that, and then they look for funding and implementation partners like us. And also we also know that most of the water bodies in the geographies that we're working on are polluted, so we have an endless list of water bodies. All we need is just funding sources and NGO partners so that we could rejuvenate them. So yeah, it kind of the water body originates from either of the three sources. Yes.
Right. So when you look at CSR funds, right? So what kind of companies are there who are on who consider you as a good service to be put into the CSR round? And what kind of support are you looking for? I'm coming from the point that our ecosystem has a number of people who know how to mobilize the CSR, and you will be a part of that group as well. So what we offer is not only a video call with you and things. I myself, as well as my venture fund, also ends up becoming your partner in your future of funding or mentorship or any addition to your product, whatever way you need. So, in that sense, you have a group, right? Which you will be a part of on LinkedIn itself. And that group has a number of people. So, for example, you will have a carbon credit measuring company, right? Which is we just interviewed a month back. Then you will have one lady who is into organizing CSR funds, and she's known in the ecosystem of CSR, right? So she had long experience of working in the CSR industry. So she was in that role for a very long time. Then she started her own. So now she is a grassroots level involvement plus CSR, right? So
Yeah.
how do you fund your CSRs? How do you find them? How do they find you? How can we help you out? Just have an opinion.
Definitely. So generally, anybody looking to rejuvenate a water body right now are early adopters.
Right.
And so these are well-educated people, tech-friendly. And so we've established decent presence online, where people could find us, because let's say searching for a very specific keyword like floating wetlands,
Right.
it only has a few vendors. So we
Right.
kind of now started appearing on the first page of Google, etc.
Right.
So anybody looking for organizations that could provide products or solutions for water bodies, they find us online. Or we are also kind of making an outreach effort to reach out to these NGOs and the corporates as well,
Right.
to partner with them. Till now, we have multiple big names on our kind of a client list, um, with corporates like HCL Tech, Hindustan Unilever, Dell, Emphasis,
Mm.
and a few others. Plus a lot of NGOs spanning across Bangalore, Delhi,
Mm.
the likes of Aga Khan as well. So
Right.
global NGOs as well.
Right.
So that's how it's kind of structured. And yeah, so either we kind of reach out to them that, look, you have CSR funds, water body rejuvenation is on your priority list as well. Why don't we come in and kind of collaborate to rejuvenate them? So, yeah, so either NGO reaches out to us or we kind of reach out to the corporates and them. So that's how it kind of structures up. How you or your organization or this entire community can help us is kind of firstly is with the networks and connections. You mentioned about a lady who does fundraising for CSR. We are always looking for CSR funds, right? Because we have endless water bodies to rejuvenate. So that's where we could kind of use some help. The other could be kind of connecting to multiple relevant NGOs or social development organizations in this
Sure,
sector
sure.
who are kind of receiving funds and kind of managing the entire project.
Right.
So connections is one. Maybe so we're also looking to do our second round of fundraise. So although we were about 8 years old,
Right.
but we bootstrapped for the initial 5.5,
Right.
6 years, and we just raised a single round of funding 2.5 years back. So, but we are now looking to raise a second round. So that's maybe where you could help us, and also connections to the corporates with CSR funds, because I think it's their decision at the end of the day. We could choose multiple NGO partners, but yeah, funding sources is kind of one key area where you could help us. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So let's get back to the product. So let's talk about a little more about if if how do you measure the cost per unit of a pond or a water body, right? So for example, so if it was a square meters of 100 square meters or a 50 square meters or a 30 square meters, choose any, give
Yep.
me the cost of execution of it and how much is a CSR fund coming to you. So give me an example to understand, uh,
Yes.
and a CSR organization could look at it in that way, right?
Got it. So I'll give you broad thumb rules of kind of ballpark figures for the same. So the cost of restoring, rejuvenating 1 acre of a water body and maintaining it for a year, which also includes the O&M personnel, the boats and life jackets, water testing and everything.
Right.
So the cost of capex and 1 year of maintenance comes to somewhere about 25 lakhs plus taxes for 1 acre,
Right.
and this gets lower as the water body gets bigger. So for 5 acres, it might drop down to 20 or 22 lakhs plus taxes per acre.
Right.
And for maybe a water body as big as 100 acres, it might drop down to 15 lakhs per acre as well. So as economies of scale kick in, the cost per acre kind of reduces.
Right.
And this is basically the rates when we're kind of working with NGOs and kind of it's still B2B. When our kind of distributors or our partners take these products to the government, I'm sure you understand the rates get inflated.
Hmm. Right. That is true. So even then, it's the conversation one CSR company at a time, right? So you're having a conversation with them for whatever is the location as well as the costings, and you are so it's a to and fro kind of a conversation that you also directly go into, or is it your distributor going into it?
So for the private, for the B2B segment, we kind of lead the conversation ourselves because like we can, it's better to talk organization to organization and structure the business, but it's actually just with the government where the major problem is. That's why we have to kind of put a third entity in the
I
middle,
understood.
uh, because
See,
working
that
with the government
process
is,
has its own steps and it has its own way of looking at things, and you know that there are some representatives who come in, and then it becomes a
yes,
middleman, and then it becomes a long middleman line of people that you lead talk to, and then you end up getting to the conversation. So the cost of getting that conversation forward is obviously
yes,
more than the cost of just getting the distributor to handle it who already has a understanding with the government in that zone, right? That's
exactly.
how you're
And
working.
also there are multiple issues there. The first is actually the slow sales cycle,
Okay.
right? It takes about 6 to 9 months
Correct.
just to get one single tender out. That's very slow, right? And plus you'll have to do 20, 30 visits, which is just simply not scalable, right? As product manufacturers, we really would not like to travel to a city 20, 25 times just to get a project.
Mm.
The other is the government doesn't give advances. The government expects you to complete the work, pay the GST from your own pocket, raise an invoice,
Right.
pay them their bribe share, etc., and then wait for a year or two to get your payment, and even then you don't get full payment. So that's really problem. And we work on 100% advance only. We're very, very strict on that. We say no to 90% advance as well. And that's obviously not workable with the government. Plus, we have investors on board, so we can't cook our books. We don't want to either, but we can't cook our books either. So that's why we stay away from the government and always have somebody in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. So no change has happened since you started your business 8 years ago, and now you are not hearing any conversation where a new kind of conversation has come up where, okay, so this government department did a better job or not, right? So
Uh,
some good news from the government side dealing with the distributor that you have. It has never happened.
Not really. So I'll
Hmm.
the only good thing that has happened is actually after COVID that budgets have started coming in. Pre-COVID, the water body rejuvenation was not on the priority list,
Right.
let alone it be the last in the
Correct.
priority list
Correct.
because
Correct.
there was no budgets.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
only good thing that has happened is budgets have started in coming in post-COVID. But right now they've been siphoned off to their contractors to do like civil works all around the pond and ignore the water quality. And I'll stick my neck out to say this. The government does not want to rejuvenate water bodies. We very naively assume that it's the government's responsibility to restore the lakes and the rivers, but they don't want to rejuvenate it. They're not indifferent either. Like, do whatever you want, we really don't care. They make efforts to ensure that you cannot rejuvenate the water body. They'll put roadblocks in your path, etc. And they want to ensure the water bodies, the problem of the water bodies is not solved, so that they can keep pocketing 70-80% of the funds. Because let's say the problem gets solved, the next year they'll only get 5, 10, 15 for maintenance, right? Again, so let's say base of 100. Right now they're pocketing 70, 80. So the incentives are not aligned for them to solve the problem. They
And also, they
fun
might be having some paperwork issues as well as being a slow organization. So you obviously governments in every country are slow organizations, right?
that
You
they are. Yeah.
anything in any country, it's the same, right? In that way. So some people are sticking their neck out on some other issues. In India, they are sticking their neck out on the land issue, for example, right? So if the land issue comes in, they say, is it a forest land? Is it not? So there are so many departments that you have to take care of. So they say, okay, taking the stress out of it, maybe we can go this path, have a direct conversation with him and stop him from doing it, right? So lots of reasoning, you can't explain it, it's too big a question. Most of the times it hurts the startup or the company that is actually trying to do something about it, right?
Absolutely. So there's two things about it. One is being slow and inefficient, and
Correct.
then there is the other thing where you do not have an intention to solve the problem. You can be slow and ineffective and solve it in a year rather than 3 months, but you'll still solve it, right? But then there's this entire angle of the wrong intentions, right? So that's the thing. Because let me tell you what happened during COVID. So
Mm.
our business had come down to zero, right? Because the government had run out of funds,
Correct.
and even the CSR funds were redirected towards COVID relief efforts. So
Correct.
there was no one buying our product. So we thought to ourselves, can we really rejuvenate water bodies without taking funds from the government? And the answer we came up with was yes. We can do that by a PPP model. How highways and those toll booth kind of systems work,
Correct.
where we don't take funds from the government, raise private financing, rejuvenate the water body, keep it maintained, then generate revenue from the water body only through environment friendly measures. For
Mm.
example, if we set up advertisements on the boundary wall of a lake, it
Mhm.
does not harm the lake in any manner, but it can generate enough revenue if it's in an urban area just off the main road that it covers the maintenance cost and also pays back the capex in 3 to 5 years, right?
Mm.
So, without taking funds from the government, we could rejuvenate the water body and give them some profit share or revenue share, right? What could be better? But they say no to such a proposition because it is in benefit of everybody except the official.
Be
Because
one way of looking at it. And I also deal with a lot of government things. Many times I've done that. So see, I've started to question a little bit on myself as well, always, because I understand where they are coming from
yes,
more. So, what I have understood is sometimes you need to know. So, for example, in your case, a simple question: when a company comes to you and gives you a CSR fund, right, and tells you this pond needs to be improved, I'm giving you this fund, get it done. Do they have the rights to that land where they're getting it done?
No, it's a municipal water body. Yeah.
Correct, right? So that right, what does it stand with? So maybe the government owns the land, it's a government land, right? Now somebody needs to work with the government. If they don't work with the government will also as an individual react back. It comes in a very bad conversation with us currently, but it should come officially that this is not allowed, right? It comes unofficially, which is the question mark we have, right? In one. So this is one way of looking at the whole thing as well, right? So there is a forest land or not a forest land, city land or not a city land, government land or not a government land, right? Are you doing it because we have aims? So government will say, I have aims for that land. Why are you making pond there, right? That is another question they always also have. So I'm not taking their side. I'm not a political guy. I'm not a guy who ever cares who's winning, who's not winning. Okay. I am just thinking of, was my experience with the government good? I understand that at a local level there are a lot of things which are wrong, which you have touched, you have got understood, you have understood as well, right? So that is something we also have a point against the government, that this is not the way, right? So
Yes.
amazing, amazing, amazing. So tell me about your technologies that you do to make the water body the amazingness that you build it to.
All right. So basically, uh, we're using nature-based products to rejuvenate the water body.
Yeah.
So one additional constraint when working on water bodies is like you have to clean the water body, but you also have to ensure the fish, the plants around it survive as well. Right.
Correct.
For
Correct.
example, we dose chlorine or bleach in swimming pools. We can't do that in water bodies. We can't use any chemical for that matter. Neither could we use filtration techniques
Mm.
because otherwise the small fish seedlings would get stuck in the pump and die. So
Right.
even filtration is not an option, only biological means. So for example, there are multiple types of pollutants in the water, right? Anything except H2O is a pollutant. It
Yeah.
could be heavy metals, zinc, lead, cadmium, arsenic, nickel. It could be nutrients, ammonia, nitrite, nitrate, phosphide, phosphate. It could be a whole bunch of organic things.
Mm.
And therefore, you need multiple interventions to kind of solve for this. Hey, is it possible if I can share my screen? I think
Please
the
do.
visuals.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I think you might. I've just sent a
I'll
request.
allow. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I can share it.
Amazing.
Yeah. So in order to rejuvenate these water bodies and solve the problem of effluents and sewage and wastewater coming
Mm.
in the limited timeline that we have, we're using these three products, which are floating wetlands, aerators, and cultures. Uh, Floating wetlands are these floating platforms with plants on top. Their roots go down into the water, pull up these heavy metals I was talking about.
Right.
And also, we put in biomedia underneath them so that we can maximize the surface area, maximize the friendly bacterial colonies that form underneath, and hence maximize the pollutant removal. Plus, these wetlands also double up as a beautification tool. So with these red, yellow, orange flowers, they look a pretty sight as well.
Nice. Really nice.
So that's what wetlands do. Further, they kind of boost the ecology and biodiversity. So the fish want shade, they come and hide underneath the wetland. But the birds are smarter. They want to hunt for fish, they'll come and sit on top of this. And
Right.
we've seen birds and ducks lay their eggs on top of these wetlands in the middle of lakes. We've seen duck populations going from 2 to 29 in less than a year at
Mm.
our lake. So that's what wetlands do. Regarding aerators, I'm sure you would have seen those oxygen bubbles in fish tanks in aquariums, right?
Correct.
Just imagine bigger ones for water bodies, and also the
Mm.
solar versions of these wetlands, where let's say we used to make aerators like these before, where the cables or the wires would come out of the water,
Right.
and since there are no security guards at the lakes, cables would get stolen. So
Right.
we powered it through solar panels and floated the solar panels as well in the form of a lotus.
Right.
And it weighs 1500 kilograms and is floating, is about 35 feet in diameter. You can see a person behind it, just
Right.
for a reference of a size.
Right.
So this is what we do, and we work in 9 states across the country right now.
Mm.
And yeah, for example, this pond we rejuvenated back in 2019, got the award of Water Hero from the central government, Jal Shakti for the same, and later the award of Jal Prahari as well.
Right.
Uh, this Pipliana Lake we rejuvenated about 3 years back. Um, and I like to kind of point out a thing here is people kind of very simplistically assume that, look, if the dirty water was going into the lake, let's make a treatment plant in the middle, which will clean the water. Then only the clean water would go into the pond or the lake, and the lake would remain clean.
Hmm.
No, it is not that simple. It doesn't work like that. And this Piplihana Lake is a perfect example of that. It has a well functioning STP, receives only the treated water from that sewage treatment plant, does not receive any sewage. But
Hmm.
still, there was this Azolla duckweed invasive species on top. And use so what we did was we installed wetlands, dosed up microbial cultures. That's a powder with friendly bacteria, and we
Right.
installed the aerators, brought the nutrients down to zero with no food or nutrients left in the water. The azolla and duckweed starved and died and did not multiply on the lake.
Right.
And we did the same at Hawes Shamsi Lake in Delhi as well, which had a carpet of this invasive species. Now it's completely clean. Every parameter is within NOx. And Annapurna Lake is our most iconic project. The reason is we've revived a dead lake to drinking water standards. So
Mm.
all the fish, 70,000 fish in this pond had died because there were two sewage inlets. People would throw in their religious waste, puja samagri, or their ritual offerings.
Correct.
And there were water hyacinth on top as well.
Right.
And as a result, the dissolved oxygen levels in the water had plummeted below the critical threshold. There was no oxygen for the fish to breathe, and all the 70,000 fish died on the same evening or night. And now the water quality in the pond is at drinking water standards. Like you won't be able to differentiate between a RO water and the lake water. You can see the lake bottom, which is 7 feet down. And we also installed the Lotus aerator here, and we're kind of encouraging people to come here, visit the lake on a kayak with us,
Mm.
take a sample, get it tested anywhere they want, right? So that's how confident and sure we are, and transparent as well. So this is what we do,
Amazing.
catering to multiple sustainable development goals,
Remineralize
providing
also.
multiple benefits.
You
Sorry?
remineralize also. You remineralize the lake as well for the ecosystem to develop there.
So the ecosystem is thriving again. We need not put additional minerals because people still throw in their religious waste, right? They haven't stopped.
Right.
And we are unable to stop them. When it comes to matter of faith, they do not stop.
Right.
Plus, non-point sources still put in some minerals or some pollutants still come in. So we really need not put in additional minerals. And also, it's the water is not being reused currently because it's a small pond. So the government doesn't pull out water and supply it anywhere. So
Mm.
we need not mineralize it. The ecology is thriving again. Like I mentioned, the two ducks have become 29 here. We
Amazing.
have like 6 to 7 snakes at this pond, venomous and non-venomous both.
Right.
Uh, Fishes, 8 types of bird species, snails, um, turtles, everything. So the ecology is still thriving without having to remineralize it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So this is what we do. And like I was mentioning, we're a B2B company, but for the government, we rely on distributors and also a PPP or a RAS model, restoration as a service.
Right.
And we're still innovating on multiple fronts,
Mm.
like multiple directions as well. And primarily a IIT Bombay team. So me, my co-founder Revant, Dr. Venuka Akshat are all from IIT. Our CTO, Dr. Sonam, has a PhD from IIT Indore.
Right.
The Ketki looks after LinkedIn social media, and a great on-field support staff that you see standing on these floating wetlands. You see the
Right.
plants going to 8, 9 feet in height. So that's what we do. And some general accolades. This past year, we got grants from 3 IITs, won the Youth Innovation Challenge from the World Bank, won the Nama Bengaluru Challenge as well.
Amazing.
And yeah, received a lot of
Mm.
coverage as well. Yeah. So this is what we do. Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. So, tell me some stories
Thanks.
of you guys facing some challenges and how did you come out of it? So, the biggest challenges and how did you solve them? So one of them
Okay.
is
So I think it was
obviously dealing with the government, right? So one is the dealing with the government and getting the whole funding to be the way your business can survive and thrive, right? And
yes,
that has been one challenge. Execution
absolutely.
challenge as the local levels. What have you faced, and how can somebody look at this solution and see that okay, these guys solved it. Why can't I? right?
Right. So, besides the biggest challenge of working with the government, the other ones were actually, it was kind of a natural progression, right?
Right.
We were building sewage treatment plants before this, and then we made our first floating wetland, and we tried it on a couple of water bodies around Indore. So,
Right.
this was the first one we made, the one in the center, the black one.
Right.
We made two, three different versions before this. Before this was our first commercial product. Then people used to ask us, okay, what does this product do? We used to answer it rejuvenates water body. Then they would ask us, which water body have you rejuvenated? And we didn't have a single water body, right? Because we were just still testing our products.
Right.
So that's when we kind of picked up a small water body, the Nalanda Sarovar that I was showing you, the first one. It's a small 10,000 square feet pond, so required a significantly less budget. So then, so this is from that same pond. So we put together a few wetlands, rejuvenated this pond, but then this did not have any sewage coming in. The water would still turn green even without sewage, but we were able to solve for that. But then the next challenge comes: can you treat a water body that has incoming sewage? So then we kind of moved on to other water bodies, lakes particularly. Then the question came: can you really rejuvenate rivers as well? So the answer to that is yes. So now we're kind of making products and trying to rejuvenate rivers as well, rivers and flowing water bodies too. And we realized that just wetlands will not be able to clean the entire water. So that's the reason over time we added those aerators and cultures to
Right.
our offering as well, because
Right.
there are multiple types of pollutants. You need multiple products to solve for that.
Right.
So that's been a challenge. And then if you do one water body, people think, okay, but it's just one water body. You should have a portfolio, and
Right.
let's say you should have maintained the lake for at least like,
So that's a chicken and egg story. So you have to just solve for the movement and just ignore the white noise. So
that's right.
yeah, and we could keep moving forward. So basically, one more thing. So how do you handle R&D? So how does your R&D process work? How do you do that?
Yeah, I think that is also one of the biggest challenges, because how do you sponsor all of this R&D and product development, right? So we've been lucky to receive a lot of grants, right from Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs to three IITs,
Hmm.
some prize money here and there, etc. So that what kind of got the R&D done, because otherwise we really don't have funds to make new products, etc. Because the market is still maturing. The water body rejuvenation space has just kind of emerged. So right, it isn't a matured market. So that's why we require grants to kind of support it. Plus, whatever profits we make right now, we kind of reinvest into R&D so that we can grow quicker, have a better product catalog, better offerings, etc.
Hmm.
So yeah, grants is the only kind of source for R&D right
Main
now.
source of your R&D, right?
Yeah, we're also looking to raise equity-based funds so that we can sponsor and expedite our R&D. So yeah, that's the other way how we can do that.
Right. So what is your profitability? What are your numbers till now?
Yeah. So till now, we've worked in, like I mentioned, 9 states and 25, 26 water bodies. Uh, we've cleaned about more than 2 billion liters of water.
Hmm.
Um and yeah, so in terms of numbers, we did a revenue of just like a single digit crore last year.
Right.
And So we still have to kind of go a long distance in terms of scaling up.
Hmm.
Also because the market is still maturing, so hoping to scale up really quickly in the coming years. Now, because we have a track record, national awards, water bodies that we can showcase and invite people to as well.
Hmm.
So those are broadly the numbers. Yeah, and like we kind of limit ourselves to products. So products take about 80-90% of the revenue, while the ancillary services like transportation, installation, maintenance is the remaining 10 to 20%.
Hmm.
And the biggest in our revenue, I think about 50 to 60% revenue share comes from wetlands, while the remaining comes through aerators and cultures. But actually, cultures is the product that we are betting on to scale up
Mm.
because it's recurring revenue. Wetlands, you install it one time, it will be there for 10 years.
Right.
The cultures are like a medicine for the water body, right? You have to keep taking medicines every day. So the cultures would have to be dosed regularly, and strictly from a business lens, this is recurring revenue for us. So that's our star product where you intend to scale up. Yeah.
So majorly, whenever you execute something, the uh, products that you've made, right? The floating wetlands, floating aerators, beneficial microbial cultures, all these are sponsored by the uh, organization, right? The corporate
Yes.
sponsors it. So you are not supposed to keep the cost of the asset with you. So you've sold the asset, right?
Exactly.
Now they
Yes.
have the asset and they earn the depreciation on it, right?
Yes.
Correct. And then on top
Right.
of it, you also take OPEX from them, right?
Yeah. For maintenance of these products. Yeah.
Right. And you take it on a yearly basis, and those AMCs can always be rejuvenated. Every year they can be uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
renewed, right? So,
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. That's how we operate. So, for example, at Hauze Shamsi, we installed 25 wetlands, 5 aerators, 600 kilograms of the microbial cultures. These numbers could vary for different lakes, right? For smaller and bigger lakes, the number of wetlands, aerators, and cultures would go up and down. So, that's how we typically operate.
right. So, who's your first customer, the first early adopter with you? And
So,
has he again renewed his contract?
okay, so our first client for the water body
Yes.
rejuvenation space and floating
Yes.
wetlands
Yes.
was a wonderful gentleman called Mr. Ambrish Kela. He runs his own electronic manufacturing industry in Indore
Right.
called Scientech Technologies, and he has a parallel Scientech foundation where he has kind of planted more than 10 lakh trees. So he does a lot of social work as well, and he was planting about 10,000 trees in the police training college campus 1 year, and there was a pond. So he asked us to make one wetland and put it at the pond. We did that. And then we thought to ourselves, hey, look, we really want to rejuvenate a lake. Why not pick this small 10,000 square feet pond?
Mm.
And so we've got like our first client has anyways bought a island. We can get the other islands that we've tried, tested, deployed elsewhere, bring it to this one single lake, spend some extra, rejuvenate the entire lake, and kind of bring it to clean levels. So that's what we did to get our first project on board. But
Mm.
yeah, this gentleman was our first client.
Yes.
He hasn't renewed because yeah, he's working more towards tree plantation. That's his core focus area, while we are working on water bodies. So he did give us the boost, the necessary boost to get our ball rolling, though.
So do you have any clients who have renewed their contract till now, or is it just
Yeah.
yeah? Please tell
So
me.
it's particularly for the cultures. So people often just procure a month or 3 months dosage of the bacterial powder. They try it out, they find it successful and working and solving for water quality, and then they ask for more quantities. So yeah, those are the clients that typically renew. Also, few NGOs who we worked with, we
Mm.
worked on them with them on the pond. We supplied up products, they liked it. They asked for more wetlands. A client in Bangalore did that. An NGO in Delhi did that. So yeah,
Right. Amazing. Amazing. So, tell me the structure of your company. You showed me all the co-founders and the major colleagues of yours, right? So how is your structure? How does it work? Where are you stationed with the team? How are you
yeah.
together?
So we are a small team still. We're just 13 members. And how I've kind of structured this is I've broken down the organization into two parts. One, very simplistically, getting business and executing the order. So basically, getting business is the sales, marketing, branding, digital marketing team, etc.
Right.
And executing the project is operations, engineering, and the technology team.
Mm.
So, for example, we have two PhDs on board, Dr. Venuka and Dr. Sonam, who kind of do R&D and take care of the tech, engineering, new product development, etc. While Revant and I, also Akshat helps with the new product development, while Revant and I take care of the business front, right from branding, digital marketing, bulk WhatsApp, bulk emails, Google Ads kind of campaigns, and then kind of getting people on a video call, sharing codes with them, and a closure of these orders. So that's how we kind of structure this. Ketki, for example, helps us with LinkedIn and the social media. So that's how we have kind of structured the organization. And the on-field support staff we kind of hire locally at every water body we work at. So we really need not keep them on payroll.
Right.
And so, yeah, that's how we've structured the organization. So about 4 members on the tech front, about 6 members on the business front, and let's say 2 other support functions. Yeah.
Right, 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 right. So, what is your vision? So, you are an amazing group of people. So, you come under those amazing uh, companies or startups or organizations which are actually right now putting a lot of effort into building water bodies, right? There are a number of amazing executors in India in different approaches. They are doing it, right?
Yes.
Uh, and your approach is technology focused, and you are basically telling them that, okay, I come to your neighborhood pond or water body, and I make it better for you. These are the technologies that we have. So what is your vision? What is your roadmap for the next 2 years, 3 years? What are you looking at?
Got it. So we've completed a 0 to 1 journey. In the next 2 to 3 years, for us, it's the 1 to 10 kind of scale up. The
Right.
0 to 1 we did through CSR. For the 1 to 10 scale up, we're focusing on scaling up the CSR as well
Right.
and getting a few strategic government projects under our belt, and also to get our products empaneled in the SOR rates in the government, the standard operating rates, right?
Right.
So that right now I'll talk about the 1 to 10 first. So there are multiple NGOs working on rejuvenating lakes, rivers across the country, right? And they're very good-hearted people, but maybe not necessarily they do not have a technical background, right?
Right.
So they can take permissions from the government, they can engage the community around it, they can get a group of volunteers, have a cleanliness drive, plant some trees, right? So they do all of those basic civil works, earthworks, cleaning, etc. that we're talking about. And then we partner with such organizations that, let's say, if your organization is, let's say, rejuvenating 20 lakes in a year, we'd like to be your partners so that we can fix the water quality issue while you take care of kind of everything else. So that will help us scale our CSR efforts as well.
Mm.
And we need not individually reach out to every corporate. While these NGO partners, wherever they get projects, we kind of get a project as well. So that's our vision of scaling up.
Mm.
But we understand that all the CSR budget of the entire country combined is not even 1% of the government's budget, right?
Right.
That's the truth at the end of the day. So we really can't do without working with the government. Yet we have to navigate in such a way that we don't cook our books, we don't pick up tenders ourselves. So that's the reason we plan to get our products empaneled in the SOR rates so that it can be any consultant that's drafting the DPR or drafting the tender. It could be any contractor
Mm.
picking up the work, but it should be our products. So that's the vision ahead. Yeah.
Right. And obviously, with the SOR, you also have these gem or gem portals and all those places where you can be the vendor on board, right? So you can all
Exactly.
so that people for your discovery at that moment of decision, you are easy to find. That
Yes.
is the main approach. Correct.
Absolutely. So we're empaneling our products in GEM as well. Yeah.
Right. 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 And you're open for international projects, or you are currently India?
Yeah. We're open for international projects, although we haven't done a project outside the country yet. But we are receiving leads from Bangladesh, Dubai, Egypt,
Mm.
and a couple of other countries as well. So we are looking for international expansion. Maybe when we raise our next round of funding, we could really double down on it and scale up. Right now, it's just about the inbound leads that are coming in.
Hmm. So, have you prepared your presentation for raising a fund, or what stage of the fundraise are you right now?
So yeah, we have a deck ready as well. But really we aren't focusing a lot on fundraise right now. We'll do that after March because this is kind of a season for us.
Correct. Correct.
Most of our work happens after Diwali till the financial year ending.
Correct.
because before this, during the monsoons, there's a lot of
Very difficult to work on the wetlands and
very difficult to work on the lake. Then there are festivals, so people are very occupied.
correct,
And once Diwali gets over, that's when people come back to their full working mode, and they
correct.
have budgets that they need to spend by the year end. It could be 31st December for multinational organizations,
Right.
could be 31st March for Indian. So this is kind of the season for us, and so right now we're focusing more on revenue, but post March we'll kind of put our efforts again on fundraising. But yeah, we have an associate who's kind of still kind of finding out investors, sending cold emails, just the basic stuff. So, but not a lot of focus. But yeah, we still have to
It's
raise some.
good. In a way, obviously, you're structuring yourself and being ready for that moment. And on top of it, basically, what the amazing part is that you can always get aligned with the other NGOs and all the people who are actually at grassroots level. A lot of involvement is there and they know their audience. So there are a number of people I would like to name because they're very nice and amazing inspirations. So one is Harish Hande, if you know him.
Yes, I
So
have heard of him. I
right,
don't know
so,
him though.
so people hear of about him because he's legendary, right? So why I say legendary, because he has built a company for 30 years
Mhm.
and never focused on money and has been running for 30 years, and he's growing like leaps and bounds in his way of running his business, and he has used solar as the approach to
Mhm.
build local businesses and communities. So he does not take solar as the product that he provides. He takes solar, then goes into the panchayat and then talks to them and understands their business problem and their local problem, then makes that problem get solved,
Okay.
and solar becomes just a guy who came in with the invitation of a solar but helped our village to become a self-sufficient, earning on different things. So he's been doing that for a very long time, right?
Okay.
And there is Richa Pant, one more lady who has been known, who I was talking about. So she has a lot of experience from CSR and was
Right.
respected by a lot of large corporates because she used to handle their CSR funds.
Okay.
Now she's grassroots level, understanding education, understanding women empowerment, understanding all the issues that a local organization has, because she has direct experience of those, because large organizations were sending her into projects which were across India, right? Now she has
Yes.
that experience and she has that connect. That could be an amazing thing that you will see when you get connected. I'll get you introduced to her, so don't worry. That she's already had a message with me on LinkedIn and she said, please introduce me to all the people you are interviewing. Right.
Oh, that's
So that option is open. So I'll get you to that. So from the point of private investment, I don't think so there is a big problem for you to run forward with all the project costing, project money, right?
yes.
For your brand and your work at the hub level, right? Not the spoke level, hub level
Yeah.
costings and everything, and the growth that you want to do on your own. If there are some hero projects you want to talk about that you are eyeing and something like that in the near future, or you're dreaming of, or you're trying to manifest this kind of a thing, please say it on this podcast, please.
Good. So, there's no dream project as such, but our vision is to just rejuvenate all the water bodies in India.
Right,
It ranging from the most toughest, like the Yamuna River in Delhi, the Bellandur Lake in Bangalore,
right.
to the lesser known ones as well, right? All across the India, both in rural and urban.
Mm.
So that's our vision. And basically, once you rejuvenate the lakes and the rivers, then the groundwater problem also gets solved simultaneously. The water scarcity problems get solved because you have clean water, you can reuse it. You don't need to pump in much more water every day.
Correct.
So that's what we want to do. Plus, also there's for the short term, the star project that we're looking for is rejuvenating the local river in Indore and Ujjain, which is Shipra, because there's in 3 years' time, Sinhast is coming up,
Hmm.
which is like a kumbh, right?
Right.
And crores of people will come there, bathe in the Shipra River, and it's extremely polluted right now. And the blame goes to Indore because 10 out of the 11 liters flowing in the Shipra in Ujjain comes from Indore and the Kanha River that flows through Indore. So if we rejuvenate the river in Indore, we would essentially rejuvenate Shipra River in Ujjain as well. And then people who are going to come in for CRs could really take a bath in the clean water. So that's the short-term star project that we're looking to rejuvenate. Also, so that we could establish a pilot project, a template for river rejuvenation, which then could be kind of scaled up across the country. We already have a template for lakes, so that's the star project we're focusing on right now. Yeah. So anybody listening to
Well,
this,
I agree with you. So that is basically the age-old dream of every government also, that we need to be governing, not being the executor, right? That's how they always want to be. So that is a good conversation to have for such movements as well. So basically, in that case, the biggest challenge, I believe, for your growth to go to the next, not the biggest challenge, but one of the challenges, smaller challenges, because you have a lot of visibility from the CSR side. The one important challenge would also be that you need to look at policy decisions and somehow become a part of that policy decision as well. So maybe get into you need to have a presence in the government which can drive a conversation in the parliament as well, right? That
yeah,
is one thing that needs to happen, because in the end, if you're fighting on things which do not prioritize a pond or a water body, right? And you're fighting on those things, then obviously the growth of such positive things in the local area and the value of that is lost in the conversation, right? So
yes,
this is where you also need someone to help you out in the government. I think there should be someone
absolutely.
on this podcast. Maybe he will raise a hand. I'm just hoping.
Yes.
So amazing to have you, and just wanted to give you all the kudos from my team that what you guys are doing with the technology side of it, which can also become a product line for yourself, is an amazing way of having your future secured from a lot of risk, right? So in the end, one more thing I would like to ask is, I generally ask this question to some people in my podcast, and that is, resilience is a very big thing, right? Because
Yeah.
even though we are seeing that, yes, there is a positive energy in the market, overall, everyone wants to create, fight the government, say something to them, be against them, be with them, whatever
Yes.
happens, I need my gain to happen. But that energy, right, is something that I find very positive, because somebody is ready to fight, right? What is your resilience when you must have faced the ups and downs? Obviously, you are still facing a lot of ups and downs because you're in a phase, right?
Yes.
You're also growing, but yes, there is a phase of your development, right? So you have a journey as a hindsight understanding. So how do you define resilience, and how did it get solved? So give me understanding. Be as candid as
Yeah.
possible.
Absolutely. So resilience and persistence are qualities that are very required in this sector.
Yeah.
Also because this sector is a little slow, right? It's hardware based,
Yeah.
making it inherently slow with the government speed. And obviously a water body should see an entire year, all the seasons before you could start claiming that, yeah, we have found the code to rejuvenating these water bodies. So, and also because at every step of the way you kind of have roadblocks coming in from the government, so you have to be resilient. Because I kind of get these inputs from my team, from my family members, that hey, look, you're always fighting with the government, they don't want to rejuvenate it, so why don't you look for something else, do something else, make a lot more money,
Mhm.
right? When the government doesn't want to do it, why do you kind of keep bashing your head against it? But that's just my personal call, right? So I've aligned the purpose of my life with my professional goals. Um, uh, so basically, I have defined a single KPI for my life. I'm not optimizing for money or fame. I'm optimizing for karma and the maximum karma I can settle in this limited life. And water bodies has far-reaching consequences, right? So I'm doing math for karma. So how can I maximize and reduce my bad karma, etc., or maximize my good karma as well? So water bodies seem like a really good option. And so that's inherently built in me right now. And that's where the resilience and the fight and the persistence comes from. Uh, and you have to be at it because the government keeps changing, the officers keep changing. You have to often start the conversations from scratch. The government will stop you from rejuvenating a water body, so you have to push through that roadblocks. For lack of a better word, I have had to threaten municipal commissioners as well, just to rejuvenate a water body. Um, right. So these are things that you have to do, and resilience. Like if money was driving you, or me, let's say for that matter, like I would have quit this a long time ago. But for me, it's about problem solving, doing whatever it takes to rejuvenate these water bodies, which kind of aligns with my bigger purpose of life.
So
So
how do you drive this in your organization? So there is one, I saw a chief business officer, and then there are these researchers who are with you, and all the 14 guys who are actually putting all their hours with you. How do you
yes.
drive this same energy of yours and resilience in you amongst your team?
So like
Or do they drive you back? Or are they driving you that, okay, please stay on this, do this?
oh no, so I think
How is
it
it?
works both
What is the
ways.
dynamic? Ah,
Yeah, so it we all feed off each other's energy.
right.
So when they see me not caring about money too much and actually solving about the problem,
Right.
they kind of get motivated as well, right? I could give a great, eloquent speech, but
Right.
if I do not embody it, if my actions speak otherwise, people will not believe it, right? So, but when your actions are in that direction, you need not say anything. Like the people get motivated automatically. They align with our, like any new team member coming in, aligns with our goals. When they spend a week, a month, 3 months in the organization, they're convinced about the genuine efforts that we're making to solve the problem.
Hmm.
And then it's really so now we have intention with the team members. The only thing left is skills and managing the team and driving productivity and output. And that kind of comes down to management skills. So that's pretty basic. So that's the thing. So you have to kind of embody it of what you say. Otherwise, people can call out your bullshit very soon. So that's the thing. Yeah, how we kind of motivate our team, and everybody knows their role. That hey, look, my role is to get more projects. My role is to develop new projects. My role is to deep dive into tech and engineering. So everybody's role is defined, and yeah, uh,
So I'll give you an
that's how.
example. So I'll just open up about my experience also a little bit. So basically, I used to have a startup long time back, which was into ad networks. So I made an ad network in a time when there were not many ad networks in the market, right? So we were in 2008 made an ad network, right? Now 2007, 2008, that time period, the co-founder used to always be on that question mark side. Are we doing it at the right time with the right kind of money? Are we in the right market? Are we this and that? And I used to say, yeah, problems I also know, you also know, right? But
Yeah.
are we trying to find a solution and get it to the table and then have a conflict on the solution, not the problem? Right?
Hmm.
So let's not talk about the problem right now. Let's talk about the solution on the table and just talk about it. Okay, can we do this? I don't like it. Great. In the end, if we lose on the solutions on ourselves, we are unable to find solutions from all angles, then we take a decision on something, right? So that used to keep us resilient for around 1.5 years or 2 years. And then he left me. So I said, okay, then let me join a agency and then build an ad network there, right? So I joined Paytm that way, right? But
Okay.
this is where the team dynamics, right? The team dynamics and the way you are working with your people comes from the simple point of, are we aligned with the vision? Number two, if we are aligned with the vision, are we purposeful in that vision? Is there a emotional connect apart from the money connect, which is a very important part to it, right? This
Yes.
I have also found out that emotional connect keeps you together, and money connect will always give you something that obviously gives you the value of, now we should think of positive conversations in the meeting rooms, right?
Yes.
uh,
Absolutely.
so that I think you and your team has already looked at, and you have focused on it, and you are already aligned in that way, right?
Yeah, yeah. Plus, self doubt is good. It kind of helps you think about your decisions, reevaluate them, make better decisions next time, and kind of calibrate your directions properly. So that's good. But actually, our thought process also works like this, that we don't care about the problems too much. It's about how can we get this done. We want to rejuvenate this water body. What would it take to do that? I'm sure there are many roadblocks that would come in the way, but we have to push through them. Like, we can never give up.
Correct.
So that's the thought process, and that's like what you should be kind of thinking when you're kind of going to solve problems, and that has really helped. And just give it time with the right intent, and things do fall in place. The world tests you, no doubt. More roadblocks, more problems await us in the future, but it's the positive attitude you should move ahead with. That's it. Yeah.
Amazing, 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 Priyanshu. It was a pleasure having you on the podcast, and we will connect you to our group, and my team will reach out to you and do the launch of your video as well. So I ask my audience to like, subscribe, and share as much as possible. Thank you.
And thank you for inviting me and giving this opportunity to kind of put my narrative out there, and those things. I just have one last
Yes, please.
kind of ending remark or message that I'd like to leave with.
Yes.
And I do that in almost everywhere I'm asked to speak. And my message is particular for the youth.
Yes.
Because climate change, poor water bodies, polluted water is going to affect them the most. It's the last generation, 50, 60-year-olds that have caused this problem, their neglect, etc. But it's the Gen Z or the newer generation that will the most. So my message to them is, even if you don't care about the world, no problem. Care about yourself, because climate change, water, air, solid waste issues will impact you. So come to the front, take charge, and drive change. The older generation is not going to do anything about it. They're already compromised. I look to the newer generation to kind of solve this problem, and I'm always there for help. That's my concluding remark.
Amazing, amazing. So Gen Z should think of, so I will tell you one more, I will add to yours. So one small thing I will also add to what you've just said. It's a very positive thought by Priyanshu. Also what it gives the Gen Z. I'll give you one major thing. So if you have a pond around you, you have an emotional connect with your location, right? So you will always have more emotionally positive every day. If you have a pond around you, if you have a water body or a cleanliness or anything that you do, you get belongingness to the location or the thing. So build those stories, because people will look at your stories and not you in the end. So build for stories. That is what you have to build for, right? So
Yeah, really nice.
pleasure, Priyanshu. Pleasure to have you on the podcast. We'll connect after this. Cheers.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
That was Priyanshu from Clean Water, sharing his journey of turning ecological challenges into sustainable opportunities. If you love this conversation, share it with someone who believes in impact-driven innovation. Stay tuned with us at Impact Tech Studio for more stories from founders and organizations changing the way we look at the Sustainable Development Goals. Until next time, keep creating impact that matters.